Hi, I'm Cal Buckmaster from Toledo, Ohio. I work at Toledo Assembly Plant, Chrysler Jeep. I've been involved with unions for many years. I was in U.A.W for 17 years, and then I hired into Chrysler, and I've been there for 16 years. Some of the things that I seen was solidarity of our members is none. Our leadership, I have to say, doesn't really involve our members. I don't remember voting for our president, Mr. Gettelfinger, or any of the good old boys at the top, and that's how I feel, and that's what we see on the floor. I had a website, and we had meetings for 5-6 years with PPEJ is a website that we had. I finally shut it down, but we had members coming, and we took up a fight to get the union to be more transparent and accountable, to uphold the bylaws and the Constitution. It worked for a while, and then we slipped back right into the same situation again. Transparency. We don't know what's going on. No one really talks to us. It'd be nice to actually fill out a grievance form and get a copy of it back and to watch it go through the procedures instead of just disappearing and you have to go to union meetings, which a lot of people don't go. We need to get our younger members involved in our union. Let's see. Entitlement. That's the words that I have for people in the upper U.A.W. They have a sense of entitlement. They have their own good old boys club, and we get very little input when we need it. We write proposals, grievances, go to union meetings and try to get things upheld, and they just go nowhere. Our international reps are hand-picked and really on their own agenda, a lot of us feel. Meeting with different locals and meetings like this, I've met a lot of good people, a lot of people that I share information with, and it doesn't seem like we're just alone. We're all going through pretty much the same thing. We are having hard economic times right now, but it probably wouldn't have to been that hard if our leaders would have done something different with our retirement fund other than I'll pay you later. A lot of people have got a lot of years in and they're nervous about where their money's going and if they're going to have anything when they get done. They don't want to be out on the street. There's people that are out on the street, and it's really sad. You're working 57 seconds out of every minute. They're pushing them so hard that you start missing bells, or you show up late and things of this nature. You could have a lot of years invested in your career, hoping to get that 30 years in so you can retire. 20 years in, they think nothing of letting people go. The union does try to fight for you, but their power is limited, and which, okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay, as a union member, I see a lot of problems with the U.A.W leadership, and I feel that if we can't change it, we should at least have the rights to change locals. We should be able to shop around for our unions just like we shop around for anything else. This would put a lot more pressure on them to actually be accountable for what they're doing. You get locked into a union and you can't get out. It's almost a total nightmare, and this is something the government needs to get involved in that will give people a choice of representation. Companies are going to do what they're going to do, and we might not like it, but we do need some representation. We do have futures. We don't want to be 40, 50, 60 years old, thrown out on the street looking to pay your bills and wonder how you're going to re-educate yourself, changing your job title for whatever it may be, if you can even get another job that pays halfway decent. We're on a race to the bottom. Prevailing wage, livable wage. The U.A.W has done a good job over the years trying to give us a living wage. which means that we can raise a family, we can buy some things and generate income for the rest of the country. We can buy cars, we can build houses, and that trickles down. But you start taking away this living wage and paying people $14, $15 an hour, they're lucky to keep their car running, keep a roof over their head for themselves, not raise a family, and get back for it to work. So you're being forced to work. They tell you when you can take your vacations. They tell you when you got to start work. They tell you when you can stop. They tell you when you can take breaks. It puts a toll on you. When do you have a chance to go to school or change your career? Once you're in the system, it's hard to get out. So they pretty much buy you as to who you are. And the longer you have invested in this industry, the harder it is to change. So if something happens after 10, 15, 20 years, you're out on the street looking around and having problems. And I understand why we're having problems. Not only that, but a lot of times you don't have choice what hours you work, what shift you work. Your family is deprived, how many hours you work. In the trades, you're chasing overtime. That's part of the tradesmen do is they look for that, but it causes a lot of marital problems. The divorce attorneys really appreciate it. They get paid very well. So what are you really working all these hours for? We need to find a balance. And having a good, strong union who represents us individuals would really help. We do need time off. We're going backwards now. We're not gaining time off. We're losing time off. Okay, the U.A.W. is to uphold its Constitution, which is pretty much in Las Vegas that they set their agendas for putting things in and out of the Constitution. I've never really seen things come out, but I've seen things go in. And in the Constitution, we're supposed to have bylaws. The bylaws are what our local unit runs on as to what day your union meetings are and things of this nature. Above and beyond the Constitution, but the Constitution is no good if you can't uphold it. And I think everybody should have an input. It's to the point where pretty much if you say what they don't want to hear, like Greg Shotwell has done in Las Vegas, you get shut down at the meetings. They have their own agenda, and that's what they want to do. And then when it comes to even upholding their agenda, they don't follow through. It's very difficult to get this bureaucracy to change. Again, that's another reason why I feel that it's very important that we should be able to shop around for unions. Unions should be able to, before you join one, you should be able to see their track record as to their accountability. We want everybody else to be accountable. We want our Congress to be, we want our government, we want everybody to be accountable, but who's following through? Some of the biggest words that they use are, we don't condone that. We don't condone that, but then again, they don't do anything about it either. Yeah, we don't condone their behavior, but we're not going to do anything about it, but we don't agree with them. Then why don't you do something about it? Ethics, dues, finances, morals, information to the memberships. We do matter, and we need a future, and that's what we're looking for. We haven't done anything wrong. We've showed up to work. A lot of people never even make it to their 30 years. A lot of people are in and out in 5, 6, 7 years. Where does that money go? A simple solution that I would have would be some of the U.A.W. puts in so much money per hour that you work. That would be your money, not a pool of money that can be corrupted or diverted in other directions and things of that nature. Every hour you work should be put into a fund for you specifically. If you work more, you get paid more. If you don't, you don't. That way when you leave, you can take your money with you. Here, if you're there 5, 6, 7 years, you leave, you get no investment.